This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week. I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for more iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the war in the oasis in Ephrata. Here with the story is Jeff Chu.
Noble lords and ladies watched knights in armor battle in the field Saturday at Ephrata's Oasis Park. More than 100 members of the Northwest and Western Canada chapter of the Society of Creative Anachronism came to Ephrata. There they shared a love of recreating the crafts, arts, and experience of the Middle Ages and Renaissance. Sarah Erdahl, spokeswoman for the chapter, who is known as Julia Sempronia, Magistra of the Order of the Laurel, said the society has for many years come to Ephrata.
This event is really, speaking of ancient, quite old for the SCA. One of my friends mentioned it's been going on for over 25 years, maybe closer to 28 years. So there's been a group in Ephrata for a long time, and this event is quite an old one.
Erdahl explained how the Society of Creative Anachronism started.
And it was born out of a backyard birthday party on the 1st of May, 1966. And the name came about because they had so much fun that they kept on doing it. And one day when they had to take out a permit for a local park, one of the waggish people came up with the name. An anachronism, of course, is something that's out of its normal time and place. The society tends to focus most on the European Middle Ages. Obviously, in this garb, I fall a little bit outside that timeline. My particular interests are the late Roman Empire.
Participants at Saturday's event are just everyday people, according to Erdahl.
You will see a very broad cross-section of people. Some are television producers, some people are engineers, some people are garbage collectors. It really is a very broad attraction to a number of people who are united by love of history and obviously are fond of dressing up.
Much of the period costumes, jewelry, and armor are handmade by society members.
People generally make their own patterns, but it can be either hand sewn, some are even hand woven, and some are machine made. The only thing that we ask for is that people adopt some sort of attempt at a medieval costume.
A lot of the event focused on martial activities.
This event, which is the first outdoor war reenactment of our season, is almost solely focused on arts martial, archery, rapier combat, and a term that we call heavy combat.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thanks, Jeff. Another top story was about the Moses Lake School District's proposal for which students will be attending Endeavor Middle School next year. Reporter Vivian Huang has the story.
Nearly 300 students from the Larson, Airway Heights, and part of the Cascade Valley areas may be attending Endeavor Middle School. The Moses Lake School District officials revealed their final proposal Monday about which children will attend the school next year. Transportation Manager John Eschenbacher said the conclusion came from a consensus that the new middle school should be a neighborhood school. People agreed at earlier meetings the district should use natural dividers and avoid sending children in specific neighborhoods to different schools.
We looked at the demographics too. When I said it's geographical, I'm saying that the numbers are based on this, according to our Skyward, this person lives here. so they should be going to this school. Are they? They may not be. They may have choiced, or they may be a special needs student who's sent to a different school or something like that. So that's where the geographic comes in. Was there demographics figured in? Oh yes, we looked at the demographics. We, in fact, at number 2, we brought forward about 5 different, or 4 proposals, I guess. One of them where we tried to pull the demographics down a little bit in the base, the number, and it was just to keep the base together and do that was not, we couldn't get them even with base as a full unit. So, but yeah, demographics were definitely figured in.
The proposal will be presented to the Moses Lake School Board on March 27th. Parents will be notified of the final district barriers after spring break, the second week of April. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Vivian Huang.
Thanks, Vivian. We will be right back after this.